Danny Garcia versus Mario Herrera. We get to that fight, I'm going to discuss Malik Scott versus Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder knocked out Malik Scott in the first round. Looked like he hit him over his ear. Then he fired a straight right. It really is. Deontay Wilder the real thing, or is he fool's gold? Because the American media, including myself, has been praying for an American heavyweight to be at least decent enough to hold one of the heavyweight belts. I don't know. And I've been so disappointed in the past, So disappointed in the past. I think Areola was my last guy, the last American heavyweight I really watched and hope that will become that holds some kind of belt. And the heavyweight division is in such disarray, especially in this country. Europe is okay, decent. You have a few decent guys in Eastern Europe, but I still think that the heavyweight division in this era is worse. Deontay Wilder, regardless if he's overhyped or not, I don't think he's overhyped because nobody really knows who Deontay Wilder is. But is he the real deal? I don't know. It's still too early because he ain't fought nobody. I mean, regardless if he fought anybody or not, 31 wins and 31 knockouts. That's impressive, regardless if he's fighting bums or not. Regardless if he's a chump, he's still got some power. And that's always good to have, especially if you're a heavyweight. But as to say that he's the real deal, we don't know yet. And Paulie said something very interesting at when he was doing the commentary after the fight. He said Mike Tyson did the same thing. Deontay Wilder's doing the same thing that Mike Tyson did. But the difference is Mike Tyson had a lot of media coverage early, and Deontay didn't. So that's something to think about, and you have to really think about it like this. It really put in perspective Mike Tyson's boxing career, I don't think, I might say something some may consider blasphemous, but I never really think that Mike Tyson really probably wasn't that good, I think he fought a lot of journeymen and a lot of decent boxers, but once he ran into those real guys like Holyfield and just real good fighters, he had problems. And until Deontay Wilder fights a real guy, we don't know yet. He may just be another fighter, another heavyweight fighter, American fighter that may be just go down. I have that feeling. I hope he's good, but I have that feeling that he's just gonna run into one of those good European fighters, or one of them good Eastern European fighters, and before you know it, he's gonna be knocked out. And then, so there goes the dream of another American heavyweight. We have one day. The odds say if the planet doesn't end, we'll have one day. Until then, I don't know, and I don't see no one on the horizon either. Not even the amateur boxing arena. Not yet, anyway. Okay, Danny Garcia versus Herrera. Herrera jab was consistent the first round all the way through towards the 12th round. He was popping that jab out, making it difficult for Danny Garcia to get settled and get set. Danny Garcia versus Herrera. I really think, in my opinion, Danny Garcia won that fight. And I know if you people need to watch boxing with the volume off, okay? Because these boxing commentary, you know, the people on the sideline that have these broadcasts, they really influence the way you think. I'm able to watch boxing. I found a way to block them off mentally, that when I watch a fight, I just don't pay attention to what the commentators are saying or whatever, you know, what they're saying. But if you don't pay attention to the Showtime commentators and their scoring they had, with their scoring that don't matter, what the real scoring is what the judges say, Garcia won that fight. And I'll tell you how. Garcia really landed the more harder, better shots, and a lot of things, the lot of shots that people miss were those body shots, you know, that people really didn't pay no attention to. Yeah, it was a close fight, real close fight, but I still think Danny Garcia won this fight, especially with his body. He was able to do his body work. The first round, the first few rounds, Danny Garcia, from the first to the fourth round, was coming forward. He was coming forward. He wasn't getting anything done. He wasn't doing anything. In fact, that's when Herrera was really doing his thing. So, round after the fourth round, Danny Garcia decided to stop being so aggressive. Let me be the one to go backwards, so he could find some counter shots off Herrera. Didn't really work. The same thing continued to happen. Danny was able to get a little bit better shots or whatever, but Herrera was really catching him with those jabs, and he got a few hooks in on him too. And what the thing is, that he would jab him and he would grab Garcia before Garcia had a chance to really do anything. And you know, a lot of these boxers, you know, they knock out a few guys in the media, and everybody start hyping them up or whatever. But a lot of these young guys have to learn how to fight difficult fighters. Until they learn how to fight difficult fighters, we have got to stop hyping these guys up until they fought difficult fighters. You know, sort of like Andre Ward. He's a difficult fighter. You know, he's an awkward fighter too. He makes the fight uncomfortable. He makes it awkward. You know, and they necessarily got a lot of knockout power, but they make fights uncomfortable. And that's what this guy is good at. He was hitting, he was grabbing, he was moving, he was doing things that was throwing Danny Garcia off, things that he just wasn't used to. The final rounds to me was real telling, because I think Danny Garcia had started landing a little bit more. You know, I think Herrera really kind of went away from his game plan and was a little bit more flat-footed. I really think if he had continued on in that final 10, 11, 12th round with the same kind of game plan he did in the round 1, 2, and 3, I think Herrera will have won this fight. I really do. It was a close fight, decent fight. Should they have a rematch? Maybe so. But, you know, hey, what can I say? It was a decent fight. That's my video. You like it? Keep coming back. I'll be making more. Peace.